Okay, so there's a bit there on how to deal with burns when the client is on your bed. It's exactly the same as with the hair. Use your cryo handset to take the heat out of the skin. So if you see any redness that you're a bit like, I'm not sure about that, leave the cryo handset on for longer and really take that heat out of the skin. Okay, gridding up. Before treating each area should be gridded to ensure correct pulse placement and to determine the number of shots needed for treatment. Effective gridding also reduces risks such as overlapping of shots, minimising the risks of burns. To grid, a white kohl pencil should be used, or if you're using white marking pens or white mapping string, please ensure you pre-test it for burning. In the practical, we will go over gridding up a face. So we just need to go over gridding up for patch tests. Now I have drawn some lovely pictures here that you may also want to draw in your book. These are the different gridding up options that you can use. So if you have got a large area, then just draw yourself a line and separate it into 8 different squares. You're going to patch test with something this size, which is tiny. I don't know if you can see. Okay, make sure your patch test square is big enough so you can see the difference in the vessel or the target, but not too big that you're going to take up space because you need to move it along. So for the first one here then, I would just do a line, separate it into my squares and then label them 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, if you've got someone who has got broken capillaries like this, you can then zap along the top of the line and zap along the bottom of the line. Or if you've got a large area of pigmentation, you can do that as well. Okay. The next one then is if you have got sporadic areas like pigmentation like this, so they're not close together, or if you've got a vein here and a vein there, or acne, do a square and then just label it, because you're going to take a photograph before you do anything with the machine and take a photograph afterwards as well, and so you make sure you've got the labels so you know that's where I did shot 1, that's where I did shot 2. Okay, then we have got this one where I've quartered one target area, which would be like something like this lady here. She's got one area, and so I can't go along in a line. I'm not going to do the whole area, so I'm going to either quarter it or half it. If I can quarter it, I'll quarter it like this. If it's really tiny, then potentially I can put a white line at the top and the bottom and then line my square up to my 2 white lines. Yeah? And then the other one is if you've got a large-ish area that kind of goes around the eye maybe, then it's a bit like a brick wall. So you're just going to do a line, square it, another line, square it, another line, square it, so that you can move your way around if you need to. But that's the kind of size that you're going to do. Okay, so that's how you'd grid up, whether you're targeting or doing a full face. Obviously, if it's just a full face, you can just do a line along the jaw. But you want to do your patch test on the target to get a true reflection of the result. If we're doing pigmentations or veins or acne, and you're not doing it on the pigmentation, how are you going to know that it's going darker? Okay? Any questions about gridding up for a patch test? You're all quite happy with that? So on the next page then we've got patch test protocol. Cleanse and shave the area to be patch tested. I only shave if there's hair present. If there isn't hair present, I won't shave. Blot the skin dry. Grid the area for 8 patch test shots. Ensure you have the correct machine settings and the correct filter in the handset, and you're always going to start at your preset factory settings. Pre-cool the treatment area for 10 seconds if required, so we're not going to pre-cool for your vascular. Complete your first patch test shot. Remember, no skin should touch glass, so a firm pressure is not required. And then I wouldn't post-call until the very end, so I do all my patch tests first. Gain client feedback, and if it's comfortable, you're going to increase by 5% or 1 millisecond, and that's based on their feedback. So your percentage is your temperature, your millisecond is your time. However, if it's acne, you're going to follow the table on page 25. So you're going to keep repeating and gaining client feedback, observing for an endpoint and gaining consent for each patch test shot, and you keep turning the machine up until you see an endpoint. Once you've completed post-call, and apply your aloe vera. Any questions?
So let's say when you do the shots and somebody feel heat on 20% already.
Mm-hmm.
So you still continuing to do the 8 shots but just putting off the jewels?
MS.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you still go even though they feel hot.
So you leave the percentage where it is,
okay.
and you're just going to go up through the MS.
Okay.
If you have a small target area like this, and there is no other target area to use, and you haven't found your endpoint, you need to send the client away for the recommended wait time after a patch test, and then you re-patch test. And then if you still haven't found your endpoint, you send them away, and then you wait until they come back, and then you re-patch test.
So is that 2 weeks? That depends on the skin type.
2 to 5 days for a skin type 1 to 3.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So I charge £30 for a consultation and patch test. I charge £55 for a small area. My small area is anything that is under 8 shots. If I were to do something like this, the way that I would word it is I would do my 4 shots, so I'd quarter it, and then I'd say, okay, I'll see you in 2 to 5 days and we'll do our first treatment. So in their mind, they're paying me £55 and I'm doing the first treatment, but in my mind, I'm carrying on with my patch test.
Yeah.
And I then say, okay, great, I'll see you in 2 to 5 days. I'll do your second treatment. They give me another £55, I'm carrying on with my patch test.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to see them every 2 to 5 days doing my patch tests until I find a parameter that I'm happy with. And then I'm going to say, I'll see you in 2 to 5 days, because you wait 2 to 5 days after the patch test. And then I would do my first treatment in my head. Yeah. It might be their 5th or 6th treatment. And then I'm going to say, I think I'm getting somewhere. I'm going to see you in 2 weeks.
I was going to say, I think they're not suspicious.
No. So by that point, I should have visible results at that point. So then I would then change it and say, okay, I'm going to see you in 2 weeks. Okay, does that make sense? Everyone happy? Lovely. So when I'm doing my patch test, I'm going to write down the percentage, the joules and the millisecond. So I'll just do the number shot that I'm doing, and I'll write down those 3 parameters. If I am getting frustrated and I'm not getting anywhere, rather than writing all of the parameters down, I'll probably stop writing it all down, keep turning the machine up and do what I need to do with the practical, and then I'll just write my final parameter down. Because if I do end up doing 30 shots, that's a lot of writing on the consultation form.